Welcome back. I'm Jinx, and we're continuing our discussion with Black members of the film and television industry to discuss issues regarding race in Hollywood. Please join us as I sit down with Deborah Martin Chase, Devon Shepard, and Tracy Twinkie Bird for our 5-part discussion. Some conflict that's taking place right now, which is a news item, is the controversy over the Oscars, and some blacks in Hollywood calling for others to boycott or not be involved with the Oscars this year.
And who does that help? Who does that hurt? I mean, if they don't, if the Oscars are going on,
Regardless.
Oh, yes.
regardless.
Going on.
Yeah. So, I mean, when I heard that people were saying, well, Chris Rock shouldn't
Right.
host, I was like,
Right.
what?
Right.
Like, this one of the biggest jobs in town. He is going to kill it. You
Yeah.
know he's going to get up
Yes.
there and be vocal about the issues and have a greater reach
Right.
Yes.
than
Yes.
anybody
He's the best.
Spotlight is
person to
on.
be up
He's
there.
the
Yes.
best person to
In a
be
way
in
that's
that
digestible, and
position.
he'll
Spotlight.
with humor.
Funny,
Yeah.
with humor,
Yes.
but he
Chris
is
Rock.
the right person.
I get if
So-
you said Whoopi. But Chris Rock
Well,
is the
Whoopi
best.
too.
I'm just
Whoopi
saying,
was-
but Chris Rock is probably the best person in this particular time to deal with this particular issue. This is what he does for a living. This is what he lives to do. I know this for a fact. He lives to do this kind of stuff.
He
So
said he was going to rewrite his monologue.
Oh, he's already
I'm
pointed it out.
sure he
Good for
is.
him, of course.
So it's like, who when people calling for him to step down, like, what are you thinking? Who
Yeah.
does that? Who does that hurt?
Who does that
Who does
hurt?
that help? Makes no sense. That's
Exactly.
stupid.
It's dumb. I agree.
I'm glad we're all on the same page.
I personally don't care about the Oscars, quite honestly. I don't like NWA or whoever didn't get nominated.
No,
It
they were
doesn't-
nominated.
I mean, but well.
Oh, no.
I gotta count. Oh,
There was a nomination.
don't get me started on that.
Oh, yes.
But
they just don't look like the film.
well, no,
At all.
At all.
But they were nominated.
They were nominated.
Like, yo,
That was almost like I feel like that's a shot, a jab. I feel like
Help them.
I feel like a
with
jab.
that. Help them. It is a
I
jab.
feel like this is
It
kind
is
of
a jab.
an F you. But
I'm confused.
But I will say this: it doesn't devalue the movie.
Right?
The movies are still great.
Listen, Star Wars
I don't want
didn't
no
get
validation.
any.
No, nothing.
I mean, I understand the frustration, but it starts way back
it
when.
starts way back.
Yeah.
So
I mean, what do you say? Leonardo DiCaprio doesn't deserve his nomination.
Right.
He got
He deserves
beat up
that.
by a bear
He
and
deserves it.
right, I mean,
That man got his ass whooped.
Matt Damon spent an hour plus on screen talking to himself
Right.
Yeah.
and made it entertaining.
Absolutely.
So it's like Viola said it when she got her Emmy. If you don't have the opportunities, if you
Right.
don't have the roles, you're not going to get the awards.
Right.
It's just that simple.
Period. Michael B. Jordan was fantastic.
Yeah.
But they're 5
Loved it.
slots.
Right.
Yeah.
So it is subjective, and some roles are Oscar bait. I mean,
Right.
again, you didn't Revenant, you in the dirt, in the mud, in the
Right.
bear, in the hole. You don't get Oscar nomination.
He did that.
So why does the focus come to the Oscars then, as opposed to the steps before, where it comes to actually opportunities for actors and actresses, and opportunities for people in your roles to,
My point exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a problem.
Yes.
I think it's raising consciousness. And if anything comes out of this once a year focus on the situation, it's that there is some consciousness raising. We just need to make sure it's happening on a regular basis. When the directors list go around the studios, people need to know if they
Right.
see a list and there are no Black directors,
Right.
there are no female directors, there are no Black writers, there are no female writers. It's like, then there's a problem.
The fact that we're only talking about 4 possible movies to be nominated is the problem.
Right,
That's
exactly.
the problem.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
That is the problem. And
Or talking about the membership and how you become a member of the Academy. Problem.
But I also feel too, look, we have the Image Awards, we have those things. To me, we have to support those
Yes.
things too.
Yes.
Like look, the Oscars are the Oscars are the Oscars. They are what they are. That system wasn't set up really for
But it was all
everyone.
created.
It was all,
Right.
you know.
It was all
so
created.
look, if you get nominated, that's fantastic, great for you. I don't personally look for validation
Right.
from the white structure.
But do you feel like
I don't need it.
But do you feel like award shows are important? In my mind, when I look at award shows, I think for like a person of my age, I'll look back 10 years ago to see what was popping in those years, to see what people thought was valuable sometimes. And this way I could say, oh, people liked Titanic in this year, or people liked 12 Years a Slave in this year. And for people, once you get far removed from this time, they're going to look back in the books and try to use that as a barometer of what was important.
Well, yes, but but it's also, look, from an economic and career standpoint, the Oscars are important. You know, Chiwetel,
Yep.
you know, the nomination,
Right.
his career moved
Yes.
to another level.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
Denzel has 2 Oscars under his belt. That's why he's in the Pantheon.
yeah.
So I'm not, you know, and your picture, it wins Best Picture, your box office is going to go up, and it is helpful for everybody involved. So I'm not going, I understand what you're saying, is that your self-worth is not defined by the nomination,
Yeah.
but they do help, you know. So
It can
but,
help.
But,
It
but
can't
we
help.
need,
Well, Kevin Hart ain't
Cuba.
gonna get an Oscar, and he's working.
yeah,
you know
but
what I
that's
mean?
no. I'm saying it's not.
So-
Right.
It depends. First of all, it depends on what path you're
Right.
on
That's
too.
true.
Right.
That's true.
Your
That's
You
true.
know, like
Right.
what your track
Tracking,
is.
yes.
I
That's
mean,
true.
you know, but it's just you said there need to be more than 5 movies
Yeah.
It
made.
does.
What are we
And it-
choosing from?
But we
Exactly.
also
4
need,
movies,
we,
and that's
we
it.
need more creators. And that's the real question, that's the real issue that we're talking about. We need more behind the scenes. We need more creators. We need more stories that we're creating, and we need to find those stories and fall in love with those stories and fall in love with ourselves so that we can create them.
How do we get
So
more
it's
opportunities
not
for
always about, you know, maybe it's plan B time, Will. Maybe it's time to use your celebrity and your status to make projects for others and then take a smaller role or some, you know, do a little Brad Pittish activity and put yourself in there in a smaller role to give it that, you know,
That little
to
bump.
lift it up. But it's time to start creating those vehicles for more than just yourself, but for everyone.
So it's that we need more, you know, there's, it seems like a large focus is on the end result, you know, after the actors have, you know, their production's out and it's in our television sets and on our movie screens to watch. But it seems like a large part of it is the availability or the amount of opportunities for Black specifically to work in the roles that you all have.
Yes,
Agreed.
the focusing on the diversity issue at the time of the Oscars is too late.
Yes.
That's the end.
is.
It's
of-
the
is, yeah.
end. It's the end. It's about, you know, where it's a, and again, in film, it's interesting because the film business has changed so dramatically. The studios, by and large, are only making big tentpole
Right.
franchise movies. I mean, you know, they're
That's
you know,
true.
Universal, just Straight Outta Compton, and
Yes.
Ride Along. They're making a specific type
Right.
of Black movie, but by and large, so that then it becomes really a casting,
Right.
writing,
Yes.
directing.
Yes.
You know, like Ryan Coogler just got, you know, big Marvel movie. And then the smaller movies are a lot independently financed by and
Yes.
large. So that's a whole other issue
is,
about, you know, can you raise the money?
Yeah.
But things, we need to be
Yes.
more involved
Yes.
every step of the way.
Yes.
And again, to me, at the end of the day, what speaks loudly is the realization that diversity is good business.
It's good
It's not
business.
just the right thing to
Right.
do.
Right.
You know, you could have the next empire.
Right.
You could have the next, you know,
Yes.
birth of a nation.
Yep.
You know, you could. That is what is going to speak the loudest.
Unfortunately, we are out of time. The discussion is much bigger than we can fit into a small discussion like this, but I encourage you all to go out there and dig and dig and dig for more information. And as you can see here, follow your passions and don't let anyone tell you no. We will continue this discussion. We hope that you all do too. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you all for this.
Thank you.
That's great.